Newsom with some bullshit going on, trying to pull some wool over people's eyes. Shout out to the Black Conservative Perspective. This is content, so hopefully it doesn't flag my channel. But let's get right to the video. Let's go.
This morning, a California
He's in my city right now.
Republican leader is ramping up rhetoric as he's set to propose splitting the state.
There's this map.
Years ago, they tried to do it 3 ways. Northern, it's like regular California in the middle, Southern California. They tried to split it. I forgot how but it's not, I don't know if it's going to work.
State Assembly Republican leader James Gallagher set to unveil a plan to split California into 2 states. More than 10 million Californians in Northern California, not including Sacramento, Solano, nor Yolo counties, would be part of a new inland state. The idea of splitting California has repeatedly failed in the past. Regardless, a news conference from state Republican leader James Gallagher set for 10 o'clock this morning here at the state capitol to once again float that idea of splitting California.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about California Republicans who are moving to fight back against Gavin Newsom's attempt to overthrow democracy within the state of California. Okay, Gavin Newsom is trying to disenfranchise Republican voters in the name of fighting back against Texas, who is simply trying to even a playing field because Democrats have gerrymandered their state so much that they have a disproportionate amount of representation within Congress. Okay, the census was off. Illegals are counted as part of the census. Red states should have more representation. We're fixing that mid-decade rather than waiting to the end of the decade, giving Democrats an advantage that they really don't deserve. So Democrats decide that they want to rig the game even more because they hate an even playing field with Republicans. So again, they've decided that again, they're going to try to gerrymander California, a state that's already gerrymandered, where there's basically no Republican representation. And the Republicans in California are saying, no, you're not going to disenfranchise us even more.
Yeah,
We'd rather secede from the state, divide the state in 2, then allow you to continue to disenfranchise us, right? To have taxation without representation, right? That's the argument that they're making. So I want to react to it because Gavin Newsom, at the same time, is lashing out, claiming the 2028 elections are already rigged.
How are they rigged?
You see where Gavin Newsom's priorities are, but he really should be focused on his state, right? And what's happening in his state. His state is failing under his leadership. But again, he's more focused running for president. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
A tale of 2 Californias. We just got details about the plan to split the state in 2. Now, California Republicans are proposing it as a response to the redistricting effort that voters will decide in November. NBC Bay Area's Chris Sanchez joins us now with some of the specifics and whether the state split could be successful. For the first time in history, this is not the first time we've talked about this, Chris.
No, and splitting the state would be a very long process, one that is allowed by the California Constitution, but which would require the approval of both the state assembly and the state senate and voters of California. The so-called 2-state solution would split the state vertically with the Bay Area and all but one coastal county.
To me, it seems like all the rich area, Humboldt, LA, San Francisco, Clara, Monica, San Diego, Los Angeles. That's all the like the rich area. And I bet you the gold part is Democrats.
In the West, including LA, Santa Barbara, San Diego, this would represent about 3/4 of California's population. To the east, most of the inland areas, Northern California, the Sierra Nevada, Central Valley, and Southern California's Inland Empire, about 10 million Californians. Today, state Republicans said the split would give rural voters a voice, which they say will be silenced if the new redrawn congressional maps are approved by voters in the November 4th special election. One of the authors, James Gallagher of Northern California, said that this impacts water rights, the price of fuel, firefighting resources, the battle between ranchers and environmentalists, and so on. We also asked a political science professor to weigh in.
When you strip us of representation and you deprive us of our voice, we have no other option but to move forward in a civil way and pursue our dreams. That is the American way.
I agree with that. It would be a great idea to split California into 2. I'm not sure why I haven't heard about this before. California.
Well, the reason why a lot of people haven't heard of it They've been trying to get this done since I was a kid. With the way Newsom is running things, it might be a good idea. He keeps saying he's not running, but he's running for president. And that's why he's trying to get the man take out Trump. He's trying to be the man take out Trump. They try to have Kamala run here, and all his best buddies run this shit. It's like a drug shit. You know, in the corner, you get the boss selling the drugs, and you got your top sergeants. They're selling their shit. They're selling that. Then when you take over a territory, then you have your best sergeant take over that territory, and that person have their own territory, and person under them take over that territory. That's what Newsom is trying to do with the whole country. That's why nobody's falling for that shit. He can only do certain stuff in California, but he's getting fought. Like they said, we already don't have a lot of Republicans out here, so yeah, it's stupid.
That I think has more representation. Liberals have more representation than they deserve. And the state should be split. The eastern side is conservative, Republican. The coastal part of the state, the western side of the state, again, the coast, they're more liberal. Two different areas, two different groups of people. Yeah, they're Californians, but at the same time, I don't think they share mutual interests, right, on a lot of things. So, yeah, I support California being divided into two and getting an extra red state. I mean, that would be more democratic, right? So when you talk about adding another state, forget about D.C., Puerto Rico, right? Forget about these proposals the left puts out there. Let's actually split California into two, right? We need to start with splitting California. Allow Republicans in California to have proper representation at the federal and local level that they deserve. That's what I think is fair here.
The American way.
Want a split state. California is proud to be California in the form and the shape that it currently is.
I guarantee you Republicans want a split state. I guarantee you. Yeah, liberals, of course, don't want a split state because, again, they get lumped in with conservatives and have their voices drowned out due to the fact that, again, both of them are mixed together. And you have most of the people living, again, on the coast. So what happens is that, again, Republicans are underrepresented. I think this is a great idea. And the fact that this woke academic is disagreeing confirms my belief, right? That this is, in fact, a good idea for Republicans to pursue.
California's redrawn congressional maps are temporary and offset Texas's new maps drawn along party lines. In 2030, would revert to the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission, which considers census data. Splitting the state has been proposed 220 times in California's history. Most recently, a state splitting proposal did make it onto the ballot in 2018, but the Supreme Court ultimately pulled that measure. Otherwise, the efforts have been unsuccessful. Obviously, Marcus, we're still here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think they need to put it back on the ballot. The courts need to stay out of it. Put it back on the ballot. And the courts need to stay away. Let the people decide. Let's have some democracy. See whether Californians want to stay together. If Republicans and Democrats in California want to stay together. If they put this up for a vote, who knows? The people might vote yes. That may be the solution to the California problem.
If there's any time to do it, it's now. Newsom is out of control.
That might be the solution. I want to react to Gavin Newsom and this interview he did with Politico, in which he's going to declare the 2028 election rigged, right? It's already rigged. Okay, 4 years in advance, already according to Gavin Newsom. For whatever reason, he's running for president, despite believing the election is rigged.
He tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight. People said, oh, just Trump being Trump.
Nobody said that.
People actually think this guy's serious about another election. You think he's joking about 2028? You think when he brings foreign leaders to the Oval Office and he goes to the White House store, have you seen this? He shows them the 2028 hats. He's not being serious. Wake up. You will lose your country. Again, this is not about Democrats. It's about all of us.
So you're absolutely convinced he's...
I'm absolutely...
2028.
You've seen it. He tried to steal the last election. He tried to rig it in plain sight this time.
He tried to steal the last election.
Why did he lose?
2024 election? How did Trump try to steal the last election? I missed that one. If Gavin Newsom is convinced the 2028 election is rigged, the natural question from propagandists, if he was an actual journalist, he would say, well, again, why are you running, right? Why are you on this campaign tour, right? Why are you running if the 2028 election is rigged? Why are you doing what you're doing right now? Because we know you're doing it.
To hype
because
up.
You're running, right?
Yeah, to hype it up.
You want to be the Democrat Party nominee. Why do you want to be the Democrat Party nominee? It's because you believe there will be an election in 2028. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. He's running for president. When he started, he was trying to be a moderate, faking being a moderate, right? He was talking to Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon. He was rubbing shoulders with right-wingers. The left-wing lunatics got upset about it, right? They started losing their minds, and this dude shifted real quick, right? He shifted real quick. Back to Trump derangement 24/7, right? So again, this dude is a shapeshifter. Everybody can see through the fakeness of this guy. He's phony. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think he's going to cruise to becoming a Democrat Party nominee because I think that a lot of people are going to be able to see through his lack of authenticity. This guy is a politician's politician. Faking and phony as they come. He's a greaseball, a weasel. He'll appeal to some people, right? Some people will vote for this nonsense, but ultimately this guy's record is terrible, right? It's absolutely terrible. And that's why he won't win a general even if he becomes Democrat primary nominee, because, I mean, like, let's be real. Do Democrats really care about this dude's policy being a disaster? No. They 100% agree with this guy, right? His Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs policies. But in the general election, he's going to be held accountable for that. And my gut feeling is that when he's asked a real question, not running over the reporter like what he's doing right now, he's just straight up running over this guy. He's not even letting this dude ask questions. Yeah, when he's asked a question by a real reporter on real issues in California, I don't think he's going to come up with any good answers. Like when he got confronted on crime in California, he didn't come up with a good answer.
Red states they say are higher, and at the same time, you're surging law enforcement across the state. So do you believe that crime is a problem in California or not?
Well, sort of curious question. I made the point that crime's an issue and we want to tackle it and continue to do more in that space. We announced some expansion in partnership with the Biden administration prior. We're not talking about the nationalization, the militarization of the Guard in cities. Quite the contrary.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Democrats got to realize that you're not running against Trump, right? You're not going to be running against Trump in 2028. You might be running against, quote unquote, Trumpism, but whoever the GOP nominee is, whether it be DeSantis, J.D. Vance, whoever, right? It's not Trump. And I think whoever the nominee is not going to be a carbon copy of Trump. Now, again, Trumpism will obviously be a thing. It's not Trump. And I think it's different to run against Trumpism versus running against Trump. And I don't think people are as radicalized against Trumpism as they are against Trump. Those are two different things. And I think Democrats are making a huge mistake trying to make their revival campaign about Trump. It's the main reason why that party died. The whole party was about Trump. Democrats don't have any identity outside of Trump. Gavin Newsom is trying to be Trump. I heard Gavin Newsom might launch his own meme coin. And if he wants to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to boo-hoo, whine, and cry about it. He can do that if he wants. I believe that the ticker symbol is going to be $trans, right? That's going to be the ticker symbol for Gavin Newsom's meme coin.
He wants to get rid of vote by mail. He's talking about eliminating voting machines he doesn't like. He's setting up the contours where he can declare a declaration of emergency for anything. Just cause means whatever he just said on Truth Social. He's running the greatest grift operation in
world history.
I mean, it makes some dictators overseas blush. Crypto, not just the perfume.
Let me ask you about a couple of your...
Wake up, everybody. And I'm polite. We have to be more calm and demure. But I'm not calm, and I'm not going to submit myself to niceties. Not when this guy is trying to wreck our country.
You don't care about the
country. Is anybody buying this act from Gavin Newsom? Is anybody buying this, bro? Really, brother? Really? Again, this is the same guy that was trying to play footsies with conservatives and Trump supporters in MAGA just a few months ago.
With the fires coming.
Now, I'm not going to be nice. I know we're supposed to be polite. I can't be polite right now what Trump is doing to the country. Again, where was all this? Just a few months ago, again, when you was trying to play footsies with MAGA, when you thought it was politically expedient. Now, all of a sudden, this guy is a far-left, progressive fighter. It's fascinating.
So, a couple of your experiences with him. You had this 90-minute meeting earlier this year when...
He showed me a painting. He said, turn around. And I said, oh, there's FDR. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I know exactly what you mean. And then he went on about the third term.
Have you told that story before?
Just said it.
So do you take notes in it? It's a scoop.
I have a good memory. By the way, I had a 16-minute memory of when he alleged he read me the riot act on L.A. and didn't even want to talk about L.A. before he nationalized the Guard. By the way, we took notes because I thought it was important and submitted them to Congress. I'm looking forward to you all reading what we
Where's he
discussed. It won't surprise you, but it should shock you.
Can you share
What he said.
The dude asked the questions. He reminds you of the Joker, just tyrant and flamboyant, but want to kill you and all that shit. Like, he's just talking shit. Just because that guy died, how is he gonna run for third term when Kennedy Jr. died? Come on, man. That's crazy.
Lied to everybody, American people, what he said privately and what was really on his mind.
This dude is trying so hard to be the left's Trump. This is not masculine energy, feminine energy from Gavin Newsom.
Catty.
Mean girls energy. You're not getting dominant masculine, man, right? Standing up to Hitler. That's not what I'm getting right now. I want to know if that story is actually true, right? That FDR story. If so, that story would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah. These people are funny to me.
Not
showing you the FDR
Frank Roosevelt
painting.
We talked about his crypto grift as well.
What did he say
I
about
was surprised that meme coin's not even a coin. He goes, hey, it's not even a coin. I'm about to come out with a coin on my Patriot site. You may want to look into that. We're sold out of a lot of things on the Patriot site. We'll add a coin, maybe a Trump corruption coin or something.
This guy is a joke, Newsom. I'm tired of Newsom, bro. I really am. Can't wait for him to be gone out of California, man. Anyhow, if you like my video, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below. Share this on social media. Get this to the algorithm. My name is Kale Sounds. Peace.